Something you're walking up to, you might not want to walk up to. Not good to use chemistry like that. It's better to use herbs designed for that. So my Parasite M is an antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial to a certain extent. Good for dentistry work and stuff like that. But always remember the culturing medium. One is the lymph system, and two, your adrenal glands. If you're not metabolizing sugar, stay away from the starch. Not good for humans anyway, but you know, we like them, but most of them are acidic except millet and quinoa, and still they're starch, you know. And when you're detoxifying, which is my expertise here, I don't get you, it'll slow it down, and it's not what the doctor ordered, so to speak. So if you do them in moderation. Harvey Kellogg was looking for some healthy. It's like Dr. Graham and the Graham cracker fame. These were guys looking for something healthy, but, you know, brainwashed to that. Even Dr. Jensen, if you go back in his old Health Valley Ranch, you'll see plates of raw milk cheeses and whole grain breads. I even had health food stores in the early 70s, and I had a grain meal. I sold raw milk cheeses and goat's milk ice cream, and that was during the process of being raw. And then after a while, I started tasting things, you know, and pretty soon it takes you off of that, and then you didn't feel good. I said, wait a minute, this stuff's supposed to be healthy. I don't feel like I did robust on fruit. So really, these are cheap things, not staple things. So get the candida out of it. Use the Parasite M if you're heavily involved. Just keep using it, but move that lymph system. That's the key to having a more lasting experience. But candida can really, I had an architect female, so much candida. A medical doctor diagnosed her when she was 12. I met her with candida, fungal problems. He said, I just don't know what to do for him. That was a good medical doctor, because that was way before even my school thought about teaching candida. In the earlier years, you weren't taught about fungal problems and things like this. So it's just things that have come up as time's come on here, and so these things come into play here. He had surgeries, multiple surgeries. Oh man, I feel for you, man. He's 35 years old. What would you recommend I take to clean up the lymph? Well, now your whole focus should be about health of your body. You've done well. Your whole focus should be health of the body. Review these videos on the lymph system. I recommend you guys out there that want to be serious that you do 2 lymphatic formulas. One of them, make it lymphatic 1 capsules. Then play with lymphatic 4, strong astringents. Lymphatic 3, very strong. Some herb pharmaceutical companies and bitter melon, where they were trying to get a chemo out of them, but use those herbs together, powerful. Lymph node 2s, basically black salve, a little changed, but like that internally. Very, very good stuff. I wouldn't recommend lymph node 2 capsules, and I put lymph node 2 liquid into capsules. People started getting projectile vomiting. Very powerful stuff. You can only take 1 capsule twice a day, probably at most. Real strong at pulling and cleaning. So I don't recommend that one, but I like 1 liquid and 1 capsule, which is lymphatic 1 capsules. And the reason the capsule, it'll start drawing through that bowel wall into those interstitial areas, or those spaces around the cells and what makes up your gut wall. And that's where most of the IBS and Crohn's and cancers come from, and polyps is from in the wall. They don't just grow on the wall for no reason. Definitely, I use 2 kidney formulas nowadays. Kidney number 1, kidney number 2. Very important. We have very bad kidneys, guys, so work on those. Do an adrenal glandular, or if your blood pressure is low, get the adrenal tincture with the herbs, or do the endocrine gland formula. It'll pick up the thyroid and pituitary with it. Always work on those adrenal glands. I recommend a stomach and bowel formula. Really get one. A stomach and bowel 1, if you're moving your bowels every day, use stomach number 1. If you miss a day or 2, use number 2. The longer you miss, go up. Now, none of them are laxative. I don't make a laxative. I don't believe in laxative. I don't believe in purging, because then you have the opposite effect of innervation, meaning, it's like running real hard, and then you have to sit down and rest a minute. That's what stimulants do to you. You seesaw like this, and it's like, no, that's not how you build health of cells. Parasite maybe M for a couple of months just to clean any of the big boys or anything out of you. If you think you have worms, do parasite G. Outside of that, then you can play with these formulas or any formulas. I love herbal formulas. I think it should be get rid of pharmaceuticals, use homeopathics, and definitely use botanicals. Look at Rexall Drugs. They sell pharmaceuticals out the front door and homeopathics and herbals out of the back door. Has for years. So, I mean, you hear all that. I think we need to drop the things that harm us and really bring up the things and make it a challenge between all of us to come up with the best formulas. If my formulas don't shake and I don't get cold chills and they don't smoke when I open the lid, not good. I like a good herbal formula. Nothing toxic about them, and they will really accelerate. Just like my new brain and nerve, I can't believe some of the results we're seeing already from it. Really power it, turning on the brain and getting rid of pain and stuff in the brain. So I love stuff, and that's what it should be. Who makes the best herbal formulas? Come on, pharmaceutical companies. Challenge. Get rid of killing people with these crappy formulas. And let's get into a contest of who can make the best herbal formulas. This thing of purity and standardization, forget that. Just see who makes put that on the farmers. You farmers, you make the grow the best you can. We've about wildcrafted everything to death in this country. So the farmers, we need herbal farmers. And we'll see. So I think that's a good protocol. And you can play with other herbs. If you need something for the liver, take it for the liver. Clean the liver out for a month or two. Clean your spleen out for a month or something. If you want to get up in the head, use upper circ. But remember, when you're working on your lymph system, that's head to toe. If you want to use the blood, you can use blood formula to clean up the blood, upper circular or lower circulation. That also helps with male reproductive problems, is that lower circulation formula. Pushes blood in those areas. So all these things you can do and have fun with this. And I do invite you to have fun with them. And you all are so good, and I appreciate the questions. If I missed your question, I do apologize, so forgive me. But write it again, and I'll look at them and come back again next week with you. So thank you. You have fun this weekend, and take care of yourselves, okay? You're blessed ones. Thank you. Bye-bye.